Haven't seen the guy I got in the phone with you right now in quite some time. I used to see him at the car show out at Rotterdam Square out there. He's from out that way, but races here in central New York. A.J. Miller is 22 years old. He's out in Fultonville, and those of you in Fonda and Glenbridge area, you know right where that is. Last year, he competed in Sportsman Division at Fulton and Utica Rome. Fourth in points at Utica Rome, eighth in points at Fulton. He's changing things up just a little bit. But again, I was counting on seeing him a few weeks ago, so since I didn't, I made sure that I gave him a call today. We want to thank Swagger Factory Apparel, too. They were ones that got us out to the show there last weekend, so thanks for doing that, Michael. How you been, AJ? I haven't seen you. I think I saw you at Fulton last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we were at Fulton Speedway. Everything's been good. Business been good. Racing's been good. Been a little slow getting stuff together, but I've been about that at the shop every night after work and stuff, and getting work done on the cars. And no, everything's been really good. It's been a while since I've seen you, so it's good to catch up with you and
Yes.
get to talk a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it too. They're in the metal supply business and in the fabrication, and so if people need pretty much anything, you can get it for them.
For sure, yeah. We just started up M2 Metal right here, located in Johnstown, which is about 5 minutes from Fonda Speedway for all you racers. We supply aluminum, steel, chromoly, titanium. We can get it all. I mean, if it's metal, we can get it. We also carry a full line of plastics from our partners over at DIRTcar Steel and Aluminum down in Mooresville, North Carolina. So we do a lot of supply. I mean, we supply racers, we supply big manufacturing companies. We do it all. So if you guys are in the market for anything like that, hit me up. I do all the sales. I own the place. I deliver. I do a lot of stuff there. Me and my dad went into business together, and it's been working out really good.
Glad to hear that. So he also builds bodies for Bicknells, too. So if you are in that market, look for AJ. He's on Facebook. You can find him there. So we're changing things up a little bit from what you told me this year.
Yeah. We decided to go with Brewerton. American racers were getting tough to get, and I love Utica Rome. Don't get me wrong, Utica Rome holds a special place in my heart. But I love Brewerton too. I've only ran there maybe 3-4 times, and we always did well when we went there with like series shows and stuff like that. And so we really decided, Hoosiers are a lot easier. We put a lot of miles on the rig driving there, and we stay there in the rig. So basically, we're just going to go out there and, stay there Friday into Saturday like we were last year and just run Brewerton and Fulton, but keep the Hoosiers. That way we don't have to keep swapping stuff around and, doing that whole song and dance, if you will.
Yeah, because I talked to some guys who were Utica Rome, or maybe not even specifically Utica Rome, but American Racer one night, Hoosier the other. You don't just swap the tires, do you?
No, I mean, fortunate enough for us, we have a couple cars, which it's not super hard. But if you have a hot setup in one of the cars and the other one's just not up as good as the other one, it's, you have a lot of setup work to do to basically get those cars prepared from night to night. You're going to be changing ride heights. You're going to be changing, obviously, tires. With some of the new rules, modifications, you may be changing shocks. You may be changing exhaust pipes for that matter. It's a little bit different with the American racer world. Things are a little bit more open, where dirt car, everything's a little bit more, I don't know, it's pretty clean cut. Like it's definitely not a knock at anybody. It's more my perspective. Like dirt cars pretty much got their set of rules and that's it. The American racer world, you can show up to a couple different tracks and have a couple different rule sets, and basically it's just our way of basically keeping our two cars the same and not having to have two separate cars that are completely different on two ends of the spectrum. I'd rather be legal at every track I go to, or just have
Okay. Well, will you use the same car for both tracks this year with that?
I've been thinking about it. We really, the setups really don't change much. It's, with the Hoosiers, it's pretty much just get as much grip as you can. But we've been toying with the idea of running one car and just having the other one as a backup in the trailer. But you never know. It just depends. Like I said, if you get a hot setup in the car, we end up running one car, no problem. But running two maybe the only option we have if everything shakes out. It's easier to keep parts maintained that way, so that way I try to keep a very good parts list together, so that way I know what everything's maintained, and we do everything 2 races. I run run the bearings 2 races, pack them, run, this 2 races. I keep a log. So having 2 cars, it makes it a little bit easier to keep the maintenance, down, the time down. So, but that might happen. It may happen just to have 1 car. We're not completely sold on, running 2 cars all the time. So.
Okay. So I guess we'll just see how that goes and play it by ear.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference outside of gearing between a setup for Brewerton and a setup for Fulton? Because as a casual outsider, I would think there would be a difference. Is there?
It's a little bit subtle. For me, it could be a little bit stagger. It could be a little bit. It really just depends on the driver.
I see.
I talk to guys. Take Larry White for example. Larry, he likes running the same car 2 nights in a row. Scales it. He may change a little bit of shocks and stuff around, but for the most part, everything's pretty much the same. And I've seen guys that go from one track to the next, and they have to have a completely, totally different car that's got different, measurements and numbers and all sorts of other stuff. So, no, it like I said, it just kind of depends on the driver, I feel.
Okay.
For myself, I don't think it'll be a big adjustment. I think we will probably run about the same car and make subtle adjustments here and there, to suit the track. But other than that, I think we're going to be pretty well set.
Yeah, because the guys years ago used to tell me that if you have a good setup, in theory, you should just have to change the gears and maybe make a little stagger adjustment. Are they oversimplifying?
No, I don't think that's oversimplifying at all. I think honestly, what you just said is pretty much what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I'm at. If we want to run the 2 cars maybe the first couple weeks just to make sure everything's all shaken out and ready to go for the season. We have 2, prime pieces and ready to roll at any time. But if we end up running 1, I don't think it'd be very hard to do all those changes. I mean, we really would probably change minor stuff like you said, stagger. Obviously the gearing, being that Brewerton's a lot smaller. But it's just subtle stuff. Like I said, and maybe like I said, as the season goes on, we might find something that works a little bit better at Brewerton, but not so much at Fulton or vice versa. You never know.
Yeah, and of course you'll always be taking a stagger away as the night goes on, so it's just standard adjustments. So
for sure,
I got a nice picture. I think this is what I'm going to use in the background with you and Brianna. Boy, you are really fortunate. I've joked with you a lot about your girlfriend, the future AJ Miller, by the way. I just stuck that in there just for fun. But she really does contribute a lot, doesn't she?
Oh, for sure. A lot of times we hit the road on a Friday. She gets out of work. I get out of work, obviously work for myself. And we hit the road going to the tracks. And like, I told you, we stay at all the tracks, Friday to Saturday. Sometimes if we run Sunday, we got to stay to Sunday,
Right.
And, it's me and her on the road. I mean, my dad and a couple of our crew guys come out, after they get out of work and stuff. But a lot of times, 2 people unloading the car, me and her, 2 people prepping the car, me and her. These guys show up and they help and, get the job done. So not discrediting them, but a lot of times it's just me and her. And, it can be tough at times. We walk away shaking our heads at each other like, really, but that's going to happen. But, no, it's great. We get along great. We love doing it. And we both love racing, so that makes things a lot easier.
Hey, you're a fortunate man. You know it. So let's be honest, right?
For sure.
We were joking that our better halves were fortunate, but in reality, AJ and I are the ones that are fortunate to be with the people that put up with our crap. And let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, hey,
all the hours on the road, she puts it up with it, so we're fortunate that way.
Yeah, and it's so glamorous too. That's the other thing. So
it's all glitz and glamour of the racing world.
It is. Well, I can't wait to see you. It's gonna be nice that I'll be able to see you. So look for AJ at Brewerton and Fulton this year. And hey, I appreciate you making time for me today, man. Really, thank you very much. And I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll get to talk about that win real soon.
For sure, Doug. I really appreciate you and all the work you guys are putting in. So keep up the good work, and make sure you guys go out there and subscribe to Doug. He's putting in a lot of work, and he's doing a really great job. So go out there and check him out.
I appreciate that a lot, man. Can't wait to see you. Take care. Give Brianna a hug for me, okay?
Will do, sir.
Hit that blue E, like he said. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Hit the likes. All that good stuff. We're turning it up a notch here, so be ready for lots of good stuff here this season.